Hey everyone, we are going to be looking at the beautiful world of meta ads, which is truly a beautiful world if you get it right. I'm going to run through your ads and the process of how we'd analyze them. So if you're a brand that's doing 1K a month upwards, you've proven your concept, you've got some sales coming in, and you're looking to scale that up a little bit, push it up, then this is the perfect thing. You need to be focusing on conversion ads at that point. So you're going to be going straight in for the sale. The overall kind of funnel. And whenever you're thinking about your ads, and you have to take your emotions out of the picture to analyze what is going on for you to see where the problem is. And that can be quite difficult because generally as business owners, we're often quite creative people. So we are emotionally involved. So look, here's your funnel overall. You're pouring people into it. That's what an ad does, right? You're just developing eyeballs. And we've been through in other trainings how to analyze the ad itself, because the only purpose of the ad is to get people to actually look at your store. The main thing we look at here is the outbound click-through rate. So what's the percentage of people? And we need that to be above 1%, at least. That's the minimum. Then we want to see how many people viewed content. Then we want to see how many added to cart. Then we want to look at how many people initiated checkout. And then we want to look at purchases. And chances are that somewhere in this process, there's going to be a drop-off. And that might tell you where the problem is. So if your individual brand, if your individual ad account and your individual business, it might be clear to see where the drop-off is just by looking at this data and this information. So I'm going to show you today how to set that up and what it looks like in Ads Manager. Now remember that unless the ad is doing its job, if this is poor, then these figures are going to be lower. So if you improve any figure within this overall process, you immediately improve the next one because it's just going to be a percentage of people that move on to the next stage within this. So if you, by default, get more people adding to cart, you're going to increase the number of purchases because the add to cart to purchases is just going to be a percentage. And it's different in every industry. It's different according to the price point of your product. So there is distinctions there. But let's go through how I would set this up. So let's imagine you're running conversion ads, right? You're in Ads Manager. This is a demo account which I use for these trainings. And we're going to look at how you would set this up to be able to analyze what is going on. Let's look at columns. The ones that are set by default in here are a little bit useless because you're not going to be able to quickly see how that data works, right? So going back to that, you're not going to be able to quickly see this with the default setup that is inside of Meta. So here's how we would set them up. We customize the columns, and I'll do this so you can see exactly what I'm doing, and then you're able to follow along. There's certain bits of information that we're interested in. There's certain bits of information that, in my opinion, we're not. Cost per result we do want, so I shouldn't have got rid of that. That was an accident. Get that back. I'm not interested in quality ranking, engagement ranking, or conversion rate ranking. They are something that Facebook uses to analyze your ads in terms of what it deems the quality of the ad to be. Yes, they can be indicative and they can be important, but if they were really rubbish, but you had a really high return on ad spend, you're not going to change anything. So the most important thing is always going to be what's your return on ad spend. If you put $1 in, how many dollars do you get back out? That's the key thing. So we want to know what our CPM is. CPM is how much it costs us to reach 1,000 impressions to serve our ad. That will vary hugely through across different audiences and different industries, right? There's literally no way. There are benchmark figures for that, but the lower you get that, the lower it's going to cost you to reach them people. But then equally, you want a good quality person to engage with your ad. to see your ad. So I'm going to leave everything else as it is. Frequency is something that is important to me. Frequency is how often somebody sees your ad. If the frequency is running at 2, it means the average person who has seen your ad has seen it twice. So it's an average and it is an estimated figure. But it's important because if your frequency creeps up and your results start to drop off, it might be that there's fatigue within that particular campaign, or it might be that there's fatigue of that particular ad creative, or indeed longer term copy. So your creatives are going to fatigue faster than your copy. The next kind of important thing is really something I would just search for, right? So what's the most important thing we need next is content. We want to see how many people viewed the content and what it cost us to get somebody to. Content view means, did they view the place we're sending them to as a result of them clicking on the ad? What's the next thing they're going to do? Next part of the process is that they add to cart. So we want to view the total number of people doing that and the cost for each one. What do they do after that? They initiate checkout. Checkout's initiated, how many people did it, and what the cost was. After that, we want to see purchases, total number and cost. And then we want to see ROAS as well, return on ad spend. And you can untick all these because that data is too refined to make much sense of. What we've done here is recreated this. So here we care, we've not added the click-through rate. Outbound CTR, unique, outbound CTR. And we don't want that just there because I do like it all to be in a good order. So I'm literally seeing the flow. So we'll have that there. Okay, and then once we've got that, we're going to save it. Save as preset. So there's a little tick button down there. I think my face is in the way right now. Type in there Ecom or whatever you want to call it and click apply. That setup is now saved here and you can actually set it as your default. So what's that going to mean? It means you can go into your ads and you can look at whatever you're analyzing. Now this is just an empty account because I don't want to show you client data that is sensitive. But you can now see all of the basic data here. Then you can see how much each result is costing you. So if you are going for a purchase, it'll tell you the cost per purchase result. You can see your CPMs, are they going up or down? Frequency, so you can see, are people seeing your ad too much? Is it starting to fatigue? You can see the outbound click-through rate, which will show you whether people are actually clicking on your ad. And remember, the only purpose of the ad is to get them to click through to your website. It's not to sell a product. It's to get them to develop that sense of intrigue and to click through. You can then see how many content views you had and what it cost you to get somebody to look at your site and at your content, at your products. You can see the adds to cart, how many went to initiate checkout, purchases, and then what your overall purchase ROAS is. So if you've got a ROAS of 3.5, it means you put $1 in, you get $3.5 back. Good position to be in. And there's a way of calculating that. If you want to grab my calculator on that one, let me know in the comments. You can add more custom columns here as well, but I think it becomes more confusing. And I don't want to confuse you. I want to keep this as simple as possible. Doing this analysis here fits in very well with our $20 a day conversion ads strategy, which there's training for already in the group. And if you've not got that, just drop a comment below here and I will get that over to you. We are looking to analyze the funnel, right? So this is the most important bit, isn't it? The click-through rate. It's no good people seeing your ad if they don't click from Facebook or Instagram through to the site you are showing your products. It's no good if they don't take any action there. The whole ad is centered around them taking action with this bit. And then the website takes over and does this bit. So there has to be a congruent link between that and that. Otherwise they'll get confused. If they've clicked on an ad for one thing and they're not feeling they're getting the same message in here, then it's going to lead to people dropping off. And at each of these stages, you'll get a drop off. And it's about thinking, why have they dropped off? So if they drop off here, it could be that they viewed the content and it's just not for them. The ad itself, the click and the content don't align. If they're not adding to cart, then they're not feeling compelled to make a purchase in any way, shape or form. Similar reasons to that. Initiate checkout. If they don't move from add to cart to checkout, something's potentially put them off. It could be trust. It could be urgency. Are you giving them a reason to act now? Could be confusion. All these things could put them off if they don't progress beyond these. And if they initiate checkout, that's often an issue of distraction. And at that point, at least, you would hope that they went beyond the stage of entering their basic data, which would allow you to push them into an abandoned cart flow once they get to this stage. So really, the most important thing is that you are pushing people through to this point. But if there's a massive drop-off between here and here, it could indicate that there's issues with the degree in which they are motivated to buy from you, and that can be all kinds of psychological issues that you're not addressing within your store and within your page. So I hope that's been helpful, everybody. All right, have a good week. Take care, everyone.